The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent, such as We Mixed It, LLC, or Sounds Awesome, respectively. On that note, welcome to Thank the Light, the Wheel of Time podcast. We are your true source, the purest light, your companion cast, a warder, if you will, for this journey through all things Wheel of Time. I am Desmond McNeese. I will be your pod mistress, and these are my wolf brothers.
What's up, wolf brother?
What's up, man? Am I actually here?
I hear you sound great. You're not moving.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Let me do that.
You're not moving either, just for the record.
All right, hang on. Sorry, everyone. Hang in there, everyone. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be totally worth it.
I mean, it could have been a lot worse pause. Let's just say that.
Oh, no, want to do that? Oh, it's going to get worse before it gets better, everyone. Just hang in there. Come on. Just connect. What are you doing?
Well, I'm Fatty the Chef, and I will be your bewildered
Seriously, what the fuck is going on?
It's all right. People don't need to see me.
I just hope it's not indicative of a bigger problem. Oh, you know what? Let me get rid of my dumb. I bet it's my dumb background.
Trying to do too much.
Yeah, exactly. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Well, we got trains. I don't know, everyone. Well,
that's at my house. Should I back out and jump back in, or?
I don't think so. Actually, yeah. Since we're still at the beginning, let's try
it. If it doesn't work, then we'll just go.
All right.
No, I want to just leave.
Just leave. Just get out of here. All right. Hey, everybody. Well, I'm still here. Justin's dropping out and then dropping back in. And hopefully we will get his voice here. Thank you for hanging in with us. Yeah. Come on live and chat with me. This is really boring if you're listening to the past, but this is awesome podcast. If you're here live, you can send me messages. Ooh, I like that. I like a boing. I like a boing.
Boing.
Boing. All right. I got him through it, Justin. I held the listener's hand, and we survived it. So Justin just finished this, which I'm glad, because I watched it earlier than any other episode. So I watched this episode like 6 a.m. this morning. So.
I was gonna watch it last night, and it just
yeah.
I was tired, and there was a lot going on, and I just like I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna pay attention to it. So
yeah,
I was reading the graphic novel, the first one. I finished it, and there was a couple of frames in that really made me think of the last episode when I think it's Charn, when he's like starts dragging the wagon when the wheels are broken off. Rand is dragging his dad that first night after he gets cut by the Trolloc on like a kind of their broken cart. He cuts some stuff off of it and makes like a litter to drag Tam all the way to town, which is like, I don't know, a couple miles probably. Yeah. And it's just reminded me of like I keep going because I have to, and that's what we do. And it was like, oh yeah, that's in Rand's blood for sure. So
yeah,
I was like, that's pretty cool. Another question about that is how they had like the really strong female sa'angreal in the Chora tree. So all those wagons that left, right? They had Chora cuttings in them. Did every one of them had some crazy powerful sa'angreal in it, or just the one?
No, I think they handed her. I think they just gave her one cyangreal and said, "Put this somewhere safe."
Like that is not just one. That is like, okay, we've talked about the Choden Call a little bit. I'm pretty sure, RIP to those. Lauren made a really good point about Kalendor and the Sikarnan maybe being like balls and holes to be, because the Sikarnan originally is kind of like two pieces. It's like a scepter with thing on top. So maybe Kalendor and then the female one kind of have to, together to do things, which would make sense. It makes it a little bit easier to digest for the layman, if you will. Yeah, exactly. Boys penetrate stuff. We've covered this already.
Oh, speaking of,
that's my first note, by the way, is Moraine's messing with balls or a ball.
Well, I think we just lost our new fan with that, with all the balls. I just want to give a quick shout out to Vicky. We got a great email.
Please do that.
We got a great email from a fan this week that likes the cut of our jib, and that makes us very happy. And to everyone out there, if you kind of like the show, send us an email. Tell us what you like more of and like less of. Like we're a little malleable because we're trying to be a podcast for the people. Like we have our own opinions, but
I mean, send us some hate mail. I mean, I'm used to it. I can handle
it. But my real dream for this is a big conversation that we can have with lots and lots of other fans. And so get on here, direct us this way, especially like when the show's on the air, the show kind of runs itself. And we get through the episodes and then we do a rewatch. But
yeah, I mean, wasn't there a month where we had like 1,000 listens, which is pretty good when the show was, going?
Yeah, we do great. Our numbers are up again. So I know that with the show back on, people are back on. So hopefully you like us. And if you want to listen, if you want the show to be better in between seasons, then we will take some advice and some thoughts and, whatever. But, thankthelite@gmail.com. That is thankthelite@gmail.com. I took this episode was, it's so weird. Like a season ago, this would have been the biggest episode we'd ever seen. But like the first 4 were so huge that it's a great episode. It's good, but it's expository. And that's fine, but it's just weird that like we got so many answers, we got so many new things, we got so much cool shit. But it's like, okay, that's a good bridge episode.
This one, I think I must be having some internet. Am I flashing on your screen as well, Des?
Yeah, you sound great though. Yeah.
So cool. As long as I sound good, I don't really care. It's just I think we might be having some internet issues. I just turned my Wi-Fi off on my phone, so
cool.
It's a bit of a slower moving episode, especially when I'm like, can we go? It's like, let's go. And there's a lot of exposition in it. And I'm gonna turn my camera off. It's making me.
Hang on a second. I'm gonna do something on my end first.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll turn it back on in a sec.
Okay.
It's just I'm literally fucking like I don't know. I'm stressing me out. Fucking, what are you, a ferret? Yes. What's that? Well, you do see, I don't even. What was your question? I'm sorry, bro.
Just
I'm gonna be terrible tonight.
That's all right, everyone. Hang on. Just how like this would have been in season 2. An episode like this would have blown our minds, and it would have been the best thing that 100%. We'd ever seen. And this year, it's like, all right, cool. It's like we've had too much good stuff.
Yeah, no, and this episode is really, really good. Honestly, it's very good. It's fast moving, and tons of exposition, which fine. It's just you're just getting little bits and pieces. But of the people who that was weird. Of the people who, like I said, I got a couple people from my work watching it who one is up to like book 6 and one has never read the books, and they're pretty much digging it, and they say it makes sense to them. And like I'm like, are you guys having to like go on like YouTube and stuff to like figure stuff out? And I don't know if the message is always landing because I have had to correct a few things. But I don't know people's aptitude for watching TV shows. You know what I mean? Like everybody gets song lyrics wrong, right? You know what I mean?
Well, and it's fine if they don't totally get it. Like I'm watching. I finally started Severance, And like I'm throwing out, if I had a podcast about Severance, there would be tons of people who have already finished season 2 that would just be going, no. That's
Incorrect, Desmond. Incorrect, sir.
And
Thank
so
you very much.
it's easy to, the one thing I want to cover, because I do not want to miss this. Apparently there's a lot. I kind of just jumped in the middle of a conversation on X, and so I don't know how prolific this idea is, but at least one person thinks that Rafe has completely changed the show because they fucked up the first 2 seasons. And there's people who were like, oh, well, they couldn't remake Game of Thrones, so now they're trying to turn it into a post-apocalyptic thriller because
this has always been kind of a post-apocalyptic world. They had a futuristic, it was magical, not technology based, but it was futuristic society, and then they were basically brought back to the Dark Ages. If you didn't get that from the books,
that's what I'm saying.
Comprehension sucks, or your reading comprehension sucks.
But this may be people who've never ever read the books and don't want to read the books.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, no, you're right. I get that.
Again, I didn't go down a deep rabbit hole to see like where this idea came from, but there's at least a small portion of people on the internet that are just be like, oh, I guess your first idea didn't work out, so you're going to try something else. It's like,
no. And they do bring that idea along pretty slowly in the books. I mean, in Rand's visions, they say Jokars and stuff, and they allude to what they are. You could kind of figure it out if you're paying attention, but it's, like a helicopter or a car or a plane. And so, I mean, they had a Death Star, bro. Does that seem like Middle Ages to you?
Exactly.
Let's go.
Well, that's what everyone's saying. They're like, oh, this was a show about the Middle Ages, and now that show wasn't getting good enough ratings. So now
it's kind of like, there wasn't a lot of magic in, Westeros before Dany's dragons were born, but did we just add the dragons because the show was lame? Like, come on, dude. Like, if you're really concerned with that, like, do a little research, just a little bit. Like, I mean,
yeah, if you're enjoying it at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't honestly, like, that way of thinking just blows my fucking mind. If I like something and I want to understand it, like, God damn it, we have the internet. Like, you don't just have to ask your Aunt Susie and hope she's telling the truth or got it right. Like when we were kids, adults told you shit, or anyone told you something, and you're like, okay, yeah, because like you didn't have a way to dispute it. And now people have went the other way, and it's like everything they read online, they can like back up their opinion if they read enough or if they dig deep enough.
I can't believe how much I talk about this fucking show on our podcast, but I'm going to bring up The 100 again. Because that show
ridiculous.
That show was like, it took, I think season 3, it takes a sharp left sci-fi bend. Like there's nothing sci-fi about that show at all. And then they just do a whole season where it's like, what the fuck? And
that's my thing with you. You're such a TV connoisseur. Like you'll recognize that immediately, whether you are familiar with the source material or not. You can feel it just going like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like when we were watching Yellow Jackets, and it's like when they start to really introduce the kind of like witchcrafty stuff. I was like, is this in their fucking heads because they've been out there for a while? And then you realize like, no, it's really happening. And you're like, okay. So it's like it needs a minute to kind of sink in and cement itself, probably with people who don't have the background, I suppose. But I feel like they've given us enough, hints about how even like last week's episode is just, you see it degrade to, one man dragging a fucking wagon,
Oh,
and now it's like Hobbits and Lord of the Rings. And it's like, they walk, the Aiel especially, they motherfuckers walk everywhere.
Yeah. I saw Min. Kelly and I went and saw the movie Black Bag the other night, and Min is in it. So
nice. I like her as an actress. She's pretty good. She's fucking snarky.
Yeah.
Did you think in the Dunes that, okay, first of all, Moraine's doing the shit, and then she obviously almost gets kind of like taken over by the sawingrill because it's so powerful.
Is it a sawingrill? Do we know that?
It is. Sure? They basically call all the items of power a sawingrill. I haven't heard them say just angrill yet.
Okay.
So I think there are Tel'aran'rhiod and then there's Tel'aran'rhiod. Tel'aran'rhiod can be used with people without the power. They're made to do a thing. And I think there's two different kinds. Like some are made where you have to channel into them, and some are just like you don't have to channel. You can just pick it up and be like, oh, I'm going to sleep. So
Nice.
it's like that. Wish I had one where it's like you just hand it to your wife and like, oh, I'm not angry all the time anymore. Great.
That's called a angrial.
Nah, you angry? Nah, angry. Nah.
Angrial.
That's good, Des. I like it. I'm not mad about it. I am a little bit more happy because some coworkers have Vicodin, and thank you. You know who you are.
God, I love Vicodin. That's why I don't keep it around. I took very, very few notes on this. Not that nothing happened, but I just
I took 100 million notes. I don't know how many of them are prevalent, so I'll just kind of like bring them up to you. And I am such an idiot, man. I'm sorry. I'm just terrible today. I'm so awful. I was just awful I was just such a wet ham sandwich of a person at work today, and just
All right. Well, we're mid-season, so we're just driving through it,
which means
no worries.
More happy juice.
So, Justin, you hit your notes. I'll stop you when our notes coincide. I have very, very. There's my whole. There's all 7 of my notes. Oh my God! That looks like anybody out there who's not watching. Justin's notebook looks like 7. It looks like
it looks like the ramblings of a serial killer. 100%.
Justin
1,000.
Justin was so bored by my talking, he hadn't even noticed that he'd thrown up on me.
I threw up on you?
That's from 7.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
You know what?
I can't even read half of them.
I'm gonna go ahead with my notes, and then you
let's just run through your shit, and then that way if I double up, I'll just cross it off. And
Moraine with the Tel'aran'rhiod, check. People who watch the show are idiots, check.
Whoa, easy.
The ones who are mad that the show changed course and they don't realize that that's just part of the story.
Now it's worse. No, so much better. So much better this season.
Do Aiel wipe their ass with their left hand?
I'm kind of thinking that something like that, right? Like, like in the Middle East or whatever, it's like they don't have toilet paper or something. This is an old thing. It's not how it is now, I don't think, but they would use maybe India. I don't know. It's definitely somewhere over.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone out there who lives in those countries.
I know. I don't want to be offensive, but there is some place, and it's like I think it. It could
you know what?
Like
this might be
Saudi Arabia. Because
stop naming country.
Sorry. It is Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry. Oh God, now Jesus. Fuck's sake. There's a place because it was like, it's not the Riyadh. They're not going to cut your hand off. It was a big deal because you wiped your hand with one hand. You wiped your hand. It's going to be a long episode, Des.
It's going to be a short episode. It's just going to be a confusing episode.
Okay. No, you would wipe your ass with one hand and only eat with the other. And then if they cut off, you're eating either way, you're eating with the hand you wipe your ass with. So
I think that's I think that's now that I think about it, I think that's just something that white parents tell their kids just to scare them.
This is why I was teaching you racism's okay. No, it isn't. No, just no. Please no.
Does one of the
stop naming countries?
I think in Canada. I think in Canada, I don't think they use utensils. I think they just eat with their face. That's what I heard.
Just Donald Trump's house.
Maybe it was Mexico.
Does all these things.
Maybe it was Africa. Maybe it was Japan. Maybe.
just hit the list and offend everyone that you can. I don't want to do.
Justin just paused his microphone. Oh my God.
Okay, I'm back. All right. All right.
Does a coffin?
I'm just gonna exhale that. What? Go ahead. Sorry.
Is there a coffin that can channel?
One of his sisters, or maybe both of his sisters. In the books, I do believe one or both of his sisters go to the White Tower and get taken in as novices. So I'm pretty sure Bodewin channels. I can't, like I said, I think because in the book, I think Matt has several sisters, and I think like 2 of them can channel, and they end up Varen, I think, goes to the 2 rivers and ends up finding like a half dozen girls who can channel that are going to be real strong.
Okay.
Which I think is what Alana is kind of doing. She's definitely looking for a warder. She made that very clear.
Yeah,
You're not enough, bro. I need fucking the full 12. You only got 6.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I didn't hate it, but it's like I don't understand why we have to waste time on it. It's really not gonna be. I mean, a little bit of it's important because Alana, one of my notes is like, why is she here? Like, I know why she was there in the books. Yes, she's mourning, but it doesn't seem like I'm gonna just take a warder by force, kind of, so, but then you finally kind of get that, like, she's very upset. He's like, why are you here? She get the sense she's looking for another warder. I'm going to stick with my theory that she may bond Perrin against his will. Just like do it. Or I'm trying to think if there's someone else around it there that she could possibly do it to, but I can't. Maybe the Aiel girls, maybe. Maybe there's some sort of situation that happens and they, because they're kind of like Wookiees. They owe you a life debt, but they can't be taken Gaishan by a wetlander. So maybe she's like, let me take you as warder, something like that. I feel like she's gonna get a warder out of it somehow. Who's it gonna be? Who the fuck knows?
And you know what? They might just be hanging on to her so that we care about her, so that when someone dies at the end of the season, we care.
Yeah, that could be it.
It could be just
her and fucking. Well, also too, if she were to bond Perrin, I would almost feel like that would ensure that her and or Maxim is going to get killed off, because Perrin can't have that. So it won't be long term if it does happen, in my opinion. But who knows? We may not even get more of the story. But like it. I felt like, even though the walking stuff is kind of corny, it does, have the scale of like Lord of the Rings, which I love, because I feel like it gives it weight as a show. I know that seems silly, but as a fantasy person, you kind of need those. It's one thing that they've nailed from fucking episode 1 is the epic like locations and stuff.
Yeah, and you can't like there's no transportation. Like, we're not gonna get in a Trans Am and drive cross country.
Oh man, ran in a Trans Am would be so hot with Lanfear.
Oh,
woo!
So
they'd get approached more than me and my wife in fucking at the Ruby River Hotel.
Just throwing pineapples as he drives by.
Yeah, dude, that was still so bizarre. Dude was like a EMT pilot, and he had a dog. It was like, that's my dog's name. It was like, is this a fucking porno? Like, what's happening right now?
This is scripted.
It's a bet. Are you? Am I being fucking punked, Ashton?
All right, you got me.
You got me. Yeah, it's good that you guys caught me before I pulled my dick out. This is a good thing.
something that I didn't pick up on, which like you said, usually I'm good at noticing shit like this. But I was watching the interview after the episode, and how this is a cool episode that you've got Aiel in the 2 rivers learning their customs. And you've got 2 river folks with
that is cool.
That custom. That's a very good. Yeah,
that's actually really awesome. I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
that's very cool, actually.
And we're doing it at the same time, so we don't have to like waste 2 seasons with us all going to one place and then us all coming back. So that cool.
Makes total sense, actually. Did you feel like the dunes that God, I keep wanting to call her Lorraine. God damn it, it's your fault.
Yes.
We're in like some sort of pattern or something. Was it?
Yes. I actually been meaning to Google that to get a still picture of that to see if it's the I know it's not a yin yang in the show, but for lack of a sinewy line. Let's see.
Yeah, I was thinking it was kind of like the ancient symbol, but it wasn't kind of correct. And then I thought it was maybe Jeremy's favorite 7-spoked wheel in a kind of stylized pattern, but that wasn't it either. So, Elida is sufficiently arrogant and fucking clueless.
Is she? Am I supposed to hate her as much as I do, or?
Yeah, she's pretty fucking awful. And it's like I said, and I have some questions about that. We can get to it. We'll go ahead and keep going through your notes, but we'll get to that too because I have some questions that
I'm done. I'm done. You can go.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
Okay, well, sure. Like, so to follow up your question, am I supposed to hate her as much as I do? Fucking absolutely. Shora, first of all, you fucking dirty bitch. And you are killing it as Elida because the kind of hubris, the arrogance, like her just like, I know better because I'm older and I've been around longer than you. She's got that fucking hardcore Karen energy that hurts. And like, you know, I can't figure out what they're kind of doing with her yet. In the books, she's not a dark friend. She's just, man, she gets compulsed, but even before that, she's willfully incompetent and easily manipulated.
Which one is this again? I'm sorry.
Elida.
That's not the red that just showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is. Okay. The one with the gruff voice?
Yes, that's Shora Agaladushu, I believe is how you pronounce her name. But she just, yeah, in the books, like I said, you know, willfully incompetent and just, you know, she's the one who really allows the downfall of the tower with the help of the Black Aja manipulating her. We meet Alviarin tonight. Spoiler alert. She's not good.
Okay. I forget that everyone I forget that she's compulsed. So that's part of her evilness.
Right. When I don't know if she's like, I'm sure she's being compulsed somewhat, but like how much, and like her little shaking fit in the one episode, like, is that her trying to fight it? Is that something else? I didn't recognize this when we were recording that episode. Her bracelet that they kind of clue on the hand that's shaking is like got a snake and a fox on it, I believe.
Oh.
Dude, Elida went all mudblood on Swan. She's like, why you decorate this like you're fucking... She calls her river trash, bro. Like,
dude!
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just wow. Like, easy Draco Malfoy. Just easy.
Seriously. Yeah.
So also another little thing, and tell me what you think about this. So Adelius is like, oh no, the tea is too hot. And then all of a sudden she's drinking it and she's paying attention like super closely. Is she spying for Varen? Did you know, like something, you know, like you can see she just focuses up really quick and starts listening to their conversation. And I don't know, you know, that's got to have some significance. The one thing I thought of is, like,
I don't remember that at all.
Go ahead and look it up for a real second because I got a few things more to say about this if you want to look at it real quick. It's right before they kind of start to bait Elida. But they're sitting there and they, you know, Varen's giving her some tea. She's like, oh, is it going to be too hot? Varen's like, no, it's perfect. And then she starts talking to somebody. And as soon as she starts talking to somebody, she like focuses up, drinks the tea, and is like listening to their conversation, like fairly intently when she was almost like, you know, kind of out of it a few seconds before. So, you know, Varen has a ditziness in the books, but I wouldn't call it that.
Aloofness more, I think.
Yeah, it's more like I've got ink smudges on my nose because I have my nose in a book and I drift in and out of the conversation because I'm thinking about, you know, she has ADD basically. So anyways with that, and then also they do bait Elida to go and do, and that is something that is kind of out of the books, the killing of the Black Sisters, but Elida kills them. So what does that mean?
Let's work our way up to this.
Okay.
What was the plan when they thought that she was bad and they were trying to trap her? What was the plan?
Well, okay, and
she was going to go help them escape.
Sort of, or they said that she would either help them escape or silence them, because then, like, and in the books, that's what happens is that someone kills them. Can you hear stuff in the background?
Not anymore.
So like,
all right, I'm waiting for a picture to upload. Woo! we got a listener. Hey, listener, what is happening? Do you have any questions? Justin's taking a quick break here. So it's just, oh, now they're gone. Bye, listener.
Oh, sweet. Anyways, so in the books, this is kind of like having book knowledge helps me because just let me know if it gets too loud.
Okay.
I don't know. It happens in Tyr. Those two are still in captivity, and Elaine and Nynaeve are questioning them, and they end up dead. So I think that they're trying to be like, okay, is Elida just an asshole, or is she a dark friend? And so they set it up to where, if she finds out where they're at, if she's working for Leandrin, she'll want to go question them and then, either free them or kill them, which Elida kills one of them. And obviously that person was not a threat to her life. So what does that mean for Elida's character? If you're compulsed, can you kill and break your vows? Or is she a dark friend? Or, what does that mean for her character? I think the most interesting part about all that is that we don't know what it means for her character. We literally just, are they making her a dark friend in the show? Is she, like I said, being compulsed to cover tracks for Forsaken with Moggy or Rodmine or something? Or is she just, getting down and trying to get answers? And, I feel like, you could break the 3 oaths if you're good enough at lying to yourself. It's like, well, she's a dark friend. If she were loose, she'd try to kill me. Bang. You know what I mean? Like, if you can.
Yeah.
It's like Obi-Wan from a certain point of view, right? I mean.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And if she's being, and she just back to this point, she has to be being compulsed enough to not realize that other people at the castle are being compulsed. So even if she's not being controlled, she's at least, someone's put a veil over her eyes so she can't see that the queen and the princess are somewhat.
But I mean, that's part of it too, because maybe, Robin, as much as I hate myself for referencing them. I kind of have watched the White Cloaks last episode reviews. And while they can be a little misogynistic and a little I don't want to say homophobic, but they're not.
They're actively not woke.
Right. And I definitely think a little bit is leaning into it in a satirical way. Because we've had a conversation with those guys. I don't get the feeling that they're like super bad dudes. I think it's just, but their video reviews have been pretty fucking funny. Really? Like if you really just wanted to lean into roasting stuff.
Yeah.
Watch them. The first 4, they're worth the watch. They're funny, man. I'm sorry. Like I said, we grew up with 80s comedy where nothing was. Oh, I don't know what's happening. I've been added to the stream. Where were we? What?
Sorry.
What?
No, I thought I could remove us and I thought we could still talk and look at the picture in the background.
Nope.
But I was wrong.
I forgot what I was saying completely. Things.
Yeah, totally. I'm super sorry about that. We're learning as we go today, folks. Anyways, the White Cloaks, like you said, they've got good points. And they can be less politically correct about making them. which like you said, if they're in on the joke too, it's hilarious.
Right. Yeah, it's like, it's one of those things. We grew up with 80s comedy, and it's like,
You know what I watched tonight? I watched Billy Madison tonight. That's not a good movie. Like I know it's a bad movie. I know it's a fucking 1995 Adam Sandler movie, but in the bright sunshine of 2024, that movie's not okay.
Some of the thing, I was watching some Scrubs stuff, and it's low key, but there's a lot of stuff on that show. It's kind of like, ooh, Bob Kelso. I mean, hilarious, but oh my god, you disgusting lecher. Well, and it's just that stuff used to be okay to talk about. It's still funny, but it's not funny if you're one of those groups, and I get that, and that's why I try to not. I've probably become a little too sensitive. Somebody said something about getting Jewed today because they got the wrong strains. God. And I just kind of went
is your DeLorean outside? Because that's the only way this makes sense.
And the person, my coworker who's helping them, is a total trans person too, so I guarantee they're very sensitive about it. I don't know any kind of ethnicity or anything like that, or religious background, but it was just kind of like one of those moments. I was like, wow. And, like I used to use that expression. I've had that expression used around me most of my life by my family, but I was suddenly horrified by it. I was like,
well, that's
oh,
one of those
no.
words I didn't even I didn't even connect it to Judaism. Like I thought it was a separate word that was made
That's
up
why it's so bad
to mean ripped off. Because I'm just like, oh, it has nothing to do with like it was like I was way too old before I was like, oh, that's a slur against Jewish people. Oh, my bad.
Well,
Not like I said it a lot. Not like I said it a lot, but I
right.
But
it was like something that you grew up not thinking that it was like a term for getting ripped off, and not in a bad way in your house. And like, that's awful. That's something that you were just right. It's like the term niggardly. It's like if you hear it in some Game of Thrones episodes, and it's like it's meant to be like a cheap or bad, poor person or something, like or whatever. And it's just like the fact that that's just connected, and you don't even realize that it's actually super derogatory is fucked up. And that's how we're raised,
Yeah.
And so it's just like, geez, and I get it. It's like I said, it's stuff that will make you laugh, but it'll probably hurt a lot of people's feelings too. And they're not too bad on the videos, but if you get offended by like gay or retard or anything like that, then don't watch. Don't.
What other words should I be offended by, Justin?
I'm sorry.
We're 40-year-old white men. We're almost 50-year-old white men, and we're trying to be better than previous generations.
I just made Vicky hate us, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Pod Mom. I'm sorry.
We all try to do a little bit better. I hope Cormac is 10 times better than I am.
Because my kids definitely are. So
I am definitely
I
better.
Don't think I had much to do with it, but they're great.
You had a lot to do with
it. I do like. I don't have a ton to say about Egwene's like dream walking shit. It was good. Great exposition. You get to learn. Turn off the hot. It's hot, motherfucker. You get a lot of exposition, which is good. The audience 100% needs it. Because the rules of Tel'aran'rhiod are actually one of the more well-defined things in the Wheel of Time of what you can and can't do and what you should and should not do, but you still can if you figure it out, because most people, even if they know, won't share it with you. So I like the brass pin thing that you will like hear it and it will wake you up. Because they really don't have anything like that in the books. And I always thought like, like what would you use for an alarm clock in this world besides like, well, a cock crowing, of course, but like a person being there to wake you up. And so I like that it's something that kind of like it gives you a way to work out of a lot of situations, which is fine.
My only like this is me just applying too much realism. It would take like 4 hours for the candle to burn down that far.
Oh, that candle. Oh, even if they were Johnny's ex-girlfriend's candles that caught on fire, it would take 2 hours. And you know what? For someone's first time in the dream, maybe too long. Maybe 10 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes.
Way up at the top.
It's like an astronaut. We're gonna put you in the zero gravity machine for 4 hours. Okay. It's my first time. Can we just try like 2 minutes? No, 4 hours. No, and if you throw up, you're out.
You got this. Or you don't. We don't care.
Yeah, we don't
care. You know what? There's no time. There's no timeouts in space.
Yeah, you're gonna die anyway. It's fine. Some of the stuff that was cool, like her armor dress was cool. Lanfear is obviously after Egwene, jealousy style, which is fine. Like that's also stuff that I really don't need. I think they could have used better
in the book, though.
I mean,
Egwene's got to be like
not really, because at this point, Ran and Egwene are a non-entity. It's more like the one person that she really gets after is Aviendha, but I don't even know if that's going to be a thing. Seeing Elaine's dream with her like getting felt up by Avi while she's channeling on the boat, which was super hot, by the way.
Super hot. Yeah.
I think that's going to be a big change from the books to the show. Is the big five are going to be together more, and I'm totally okay with that from a
and
TV
that's
perspective.
fine. That's totally
So,
fine.
and if Gwen's going to be around, she's going to be a little nervous. Is this the biggest cliffhanger in the show's history?
What do you mean?
Just having Egwene see Lanfear and then just fade to black.
I mean, I don't know. You watch every episode. I can't really think of a bigger one.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty big. And you know what? What's funny is like they're probably going to make you hang on that probably till almost the last episode. Was this episode 5? This next one is all about the two rivers. Yeah, this was episode 5.
Oh,
I thought you're going to have to wait at least one episode. I think we're going to get Perrin's episode, and then we're going to start wrapping everything up, dude. 7 and 8.
we got everyone in this episode, even though it was called Tel'aran'rhiod. Like we got everything.
Yeah.
So I think the next one might be a little more Perrin focused, but they're gonna finish this dream sequence.
Right.
The boat.
It was pretty. I was gonna say it was pretty funny. I was just gonna say Nynaeve just puking on the boat constantly.
Oh.
That's straight out of the book. That's pretty funny.
And it's so the reasoning is so airtight. She's such a stubborn.
Totally, like her, like how like she's. I'll tell you what. You know, Nynaeve. She's a fucking Taurus.
A Doris?
Taurus.
Oh. Amen. Oh, you know what I've never looked up is
what the personality types of all these characters are. You know how they'll do like
What's their number?
You can do like exactly. I'm gonna look that up right. You keep talking. I'm gonna figure out what these characters identify as.
Just a couple of things that irritate me a little bit. Like does Egwene really not know what like Lanfear looks like at this point? You know, Moraine knows what she looks like. Rand knows what she looks like. Have they not tell, hey, maybe watch out for this chick with the dark hair? Also, anyone who thought that Natasha O'Keefe was not like, I don't know, whatever, exotic or beautiful enough to play Lanfear, get fucked.
Get fucked.
Because you're a little boy and she is a woman.
Yeah.
I don't love how much they're humanizing her and like her and Rand's little like, I'm going to redeem you kind of conversations. Like it didn't happen in the books. I know you're giving more character. You know, it's always good to give characters a little more depth and stuff. That being said, I feel like we could have used that time elsewhere. One other thing. My coworker made a good point of this. And the whole Leandrin, I'm going to draw a symbol and then go back to where my son was born to draw this other symbol. That could just be a way, like, you know, she's from a different place than the Two Rivers, and they do the same thing with the Beltane and the lamps or the lanterns that they light on fire so that their loved ones can find their way back to them. It's really the same thing. I think it's maybe a bit of a red herring to where it's going to be like something that really, really matters. I think it's just going to be something that kind of reinforces where Leandrin is from, and that she wasn't always a dark friend, and that you know, it's just, you know, like it's like she's no different from the people from the Two Rivers. Look, she mourns her loved ones and wants them to come back to her. I don't think it's going to be any more important than that.
I think
you're not gonna say like, you know, when they're like lighting the candles.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Mom,
no, that makes this is just too like
it's very front and center.
And it's very like she also put a mark where he died. So she put a mark where he died, and she put a mark where, you know, he.
I just meant it could be like it could be a similar, you know, sort of like ritual of loved ones that you're you know praying to or whatever. Or it may not, like, I know I see a lot of people like theorizing and like, why does this matter? Most people are pissed off about it. Like, what does this even matter? Other people are trying to figure it out. I feel like it's probably something like that, just background. And
I love how
I hope it matters. I hope it matters.
I love how pissed off people are that they have to keep watching the show to figure stuff out. Like people are just like,
That's
I
just
don't
our
get it.
society now, man.
I
Like,
don't
you
get it
got like
now. But there's so many shows where like that's the whole point of the show is to leave you guessing at the end of every episode. And for some reason, people just can't fucking stand it. Maybe it's, I mean, obviously I'm into this show, so
well,
maybe it's
right.
my
And then
fault
most
for
of our
being too
opinions
deep.
are from Twitter and stuff like that. So, you know, you get a little bit of both, but
You know what we are going to get? I think in the next episode, but I watched the coming up on the Wheel of Time, and
I didn't.
we're gonna find out why Leandrin is the way she is in the next episode.
Cool.
There's
Yeah,
a
I feel
lot.
like next episode is going to be a little bit of exposition, a lot of Two Rivers, which is fine. We got some stuff from there, which is really cool for setup. And Des, your whole thing is like, how come people don't know? It doesn't take that long for news to travel. Obviously, there are some people in this world, and this is where, if you want to get not realistic, people keeping fucking secrets in this world. The Aes Sedai don't know the Windfinders can channel. They don't know the Aiel can channel. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
Nobody knows. But it is in the books literally that closely of a kept secret. It truly is. So maybe that makes a little more sense for you about why news doesn't travel as fast, because I think that it's a secrecy factor, a fear factor, and things just change as the story
I
of
think
telephone goes.
you know what would make me feel better is if we knew. I wish we saw Tom more, and I think I would feel better.
I heard he's going to be in this season, but we sure haven't seen him yet, have we?
I wish Tom was like. I wish he was around every once in a while, and he was just like, I knew that. I knew that.
Or he could, he could tell a fucking story that gives weight to things, or instead of expositioning dump like really quickly, Tom could tell a story.
Because I get why people, I get why when Tom tells somebody about snow, they're like, okay, whatever. But at least somebody knows. Whether someone believes him or not is secondary to someone who walks the earth for a living.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because like no one from Saldea, where it snows 4 months out of the year, has ever been to Ilion. Bail Doman, but no one believes him. He's got a crew of sailors. He trades with people all along the way. Nobody.
Yeah.
Okay. But that is Robert Jordan's world, though. That's part of what's funny, which is why when people even, like the White Cloaks, sorry, fellas, they make lots of valid points and they're pretty funny. But also, it's like, bro, if you were to go over the books with a fine-tooth comb and try to pick the things apart that you're picking apart about the show, like, you would have plenty of material, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like the magic system itself is like, people have made up the ranking of the magic system like after he was dead. Like Brandon Sanderson up with that, So it's kind of like, it's a little bit like flexible, shall we say. So the fact that they're taking some liberties, like, some I don't like, I'm not going to lie, but so far this season, everything that has happened that, I didn't, maybe wasn't in the books or I wasn't expecting or whatever, is maybe some stuff that happened off page. And so I think it's cool to get to see that kind of stuff. Even if it's a little hokey, the fact that you get just more of the story that you didn't get. I don't care if he's that's what fan fiction is. I love fan fiction. So I forgive a lot of the things that they didn't do, or maybe tried to get cute with and didn't do and didn't work, because I know it's coming from a place of they love the story. And it's okay to disagree with stuff and not just be completely like vitriolic about the people making the show. Did you see the little thing with Rosamund Pike? How she's like, it breaks my heart how upset people have gotten about certain things. Like, how much we put into the show, how hard we work on it. Like, and we all came to the consensus, like, this would be the best way to move forward with what we have. And people have gotten so upset. She's like, it's truly kind of heartbreaking. She's like, more than any other acting I've ever done. Like, should I have acted in a movie? People don't like it. Okay. But this is something that I have put lots of work into, and everyone on the staff. And like, I feel like as a cast, they're really close. And and you can see it in like the off-screen stuff. You can see it. It's not fake. And
Yeah.
so I think that's important. And I think when you have a show like that, it's worth keeping around because you have that kind of chemistry with people. Whether some people hate it or love it, it sucks that people can't just criticize without, being so personal and chitty.
And like, and like, again, this is a show, and like sometimes you have a plan going in, and then you see two actors interacting on set, and you're like, we need to put those two in more scenes together. Like, so I don't care if it's in the book or not.
I just came up with an idea, and it may get Jeremy back. We will do no. We're gonna do a hate rewatch, and in those episodes, we're not allowed to say anything that we like. We only roast. 8 episodes, 3 seasons. We just roast every episode, every stupid joke that you could make, everything that you want to call out. Let's do it. And we could do it with the White Cloaks.
I love it because I was thinking that too. I was like, we might have to get Jeremy. If Jeremy ever watches season 3, we have to do it commentary stuff. Just let him go. Just hate it.
Maybe if we could convince him to do it, I'd say let's go with the hate, and I'll dive right into it. I love Star Wars. I could roast every fucking Star Wars thing I've ever seen in some way.
Yeah,
because I'm an open-minded person, and I think that kind of shit's fun. Some people take it a little too serious, but dude, I'd be down with that. And there's so much stuff that you could roast on it that's fun that even if I don't hate it, you could roast the fuck out of it, and it'll be a good time. So I'm totally down. I
don't care if Rosamund Pike's wig looks good. She's still wearing a fucking wig.
Dude, Lisa started talking about the scene where Lanfear, like, where like Rand in season 2, where Rand's like trying to cut Moraine's like fucking power shield, the power block, the shield that she has on her, and then like, she's like, all I know is that Moraine's super surprised to see everybody and doing everything like her. And you know what? I watched the scene, like the whole thing that was like her major acting was like shock. Like I know she's trying to do other stuff, but it was just like she was like a surprised Sheena Easton doll the whole scene, and I can't fucking unsee it. It is one of the funniest things ever. So like we could roast everything and just have fun with it, and I think it would be great.
Like I said, I was talking to the
and you know what? Maybe she'd come because she kind of like she tries really hard, but like there's lots of stuff like she can't help it. We roast fucking true crime murder shows, so I could roast this
totally. And like I said, we're looking for things to do in between seasons, and that there's 24 episodes right there.
Yeah, 100%. Let's go, and we might even like get Jeremy back to like just be angry.
Hey Justin. Hey Justin.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought for sure I was going to catch your "It's time for bed."
Oh, damn it! Oh, weird, dude. Not yet. What time is it? Oh, wow. It should have went off already.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, maybe we'll get a few more minutes.
Right.
It's not set for Thursdays now. Someone changed it. No, not me. I didn't. I swear to God. So yeah, one of Match Sisters channels. You brought that up already. Even Valdez, a shitbag, needs to die. Dane's looking real rough. I do like Fael like putting her knife and parents just like, and then she's like got the other one at his throat. Like that was pretty good. I like that because the first she dismissed her so hard, and then it's like, so I'm like, okay, she's good.
That was a slick move, even for that actor. Like that was. However,
it was my favorite Marcus Rutherford moment for the entire show.
Yeah,
100%. And I was just like, okay, I don't care if that was someone else doing it. It was awesome.
So sorry, we have not like. Don't worry. Again, I'm going to remind everyone out there. This is the first time we're going to talk about this episode. I forget how many
through it.
There's a lot of politics though. Like we could do a full episode just on the White Tower politics of this episode, and like what happened
only
before,
not even a fourth of the episode took place in the tower, and you get so much exposition from it.
So much like what happened, and then we find out that the shitbag, what's her name, who looks like she's just out to take over the White Tower, might actually be looking out for everyone's best interest. Like
she thinks she knows best. She's father knows best.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that people out there know, like we watched this episode. we kind of got off topic a little bit tonight.
Yeah.
But we'll be coming back to this, and we'll be talking about it more, good and bad. Keep going.
3-minute speed round. I'm gonna just throw out a few things that are like, what, ooh. And feel free to stop me if you have a reply or whatever. The gal who supposedly knows about Malkier, like, how old are you? Like, Lan is kind of the same age as you. Like, how would you know so much about it?
Which one? Which is this? Which is
the
this?
gal who's talking about Malkier with the crane on her back that he met in the sweat tent or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
They're like feeding him food and stuff.
Thank you.
You are like, you look younger or the same age as him at the least. Like, how would you know what the fuck it was like? And if you're trying to get sexy time and you're telling him what it was like, then you're like his mom's age. So what are we doing here? Unless you turn out to be his mom somehow, which doesn't make fucking any sense. And this person's arc from the book, spoilers, we don't really fucking give a fuck about spoilers.
No.
The person from the book is a dark friend. And her character arc is with Matt, not Lan. So I don't really know what the fuck's gonna happen with this character, but it's mildly intriguing to me, depending on where it goes. But also just like, that was dumb. Sorry, I gotta call you out on that one. That one's not.
It's time for bed.
There it was. We're almost there, buddy. Did you catch it, Des?
Oh yeah.
So like I said, how is she old? Rand goes to see Egwene for they're obviously like on the road to breaking up. Was going to try to get that severance pop. Didn't happen. Like I said, just how old is that chick compared to Lan? I just don't know how is Lan even buying it? You know what I mean? Like Lan was
he's intrigued. He's just like, I mean, she's got the tattoo. You can't fake that tattoo. So
it's like an adopted kid
fuck?
finding about their birth parents. It's like, even if it's like, oh well, they were fucking total crackheads. That's why they sold you. They still want to know. So I think Lan is getting caught up in that because it's like he was Spirited Away as a baby, even if she's 5 years older than him. Would she really have memories of like everyone danced and like partied and it was happy? Like, you're 5. Would you really understand that? And it was during the point where Malkier was falling. So would it really be that fun?
Is there a possibility is there a possibility she's a channeler and she's 150?
With Rafe, of course.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think so, but because you're around a bunch of channelers, and usually that's hard to hide unless she is a Forsaken. Which could be possible.
You said she's probably a
Desmond.
dark friend. She's probably a dark
Desmond. You just fucking blew my mind right there, dude. What if she's a fucking Forsaken? Yeah, I can swing that fucking dick because they're 2 Forsaken that we don't know about. We don't really know how they're going to look in the show. We have descriptions of them from the books. They could be an amalgamation of a couple other characters. So we've heard the name Semirage and Grandal, 2 female Forsakens. Maybe she's one of them.
There we go.
Which would be kind of dope. I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah.
So real quick, men stowing away is funny. I think Usqua is probably the equivalent of tequila. Des, what do you think?
Yeah, that's my.
I'd say with that face, that's tequila.
Well, and it's definitely some kind of.
I make this face. I make Scotch face for whiskey.
Well, and it would make sense that it's cactus based in the
totally in the waist. Upon reading the books first, I kind of thought it was rum, and then I was like, wait, no, this has got to be tequila, because I think the sea folk, which is funny because these scenes take place on Bail Doman's boat originally, if you remember correctly.
Yeah,
and they're on a sea folk boat, which is cool. And the sea folk, I think, have a drink that is like rum. So that also makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Fucking island people, pirates. So, what's the vibe are you getting? Matt and Min are definitely more friendly sister brother this year, right? I'm not feeling the romantic connection in any way.
Good call. I guess I just kept assuming they were.
That last scene with them on the boat, I was kind of like, okay, you guys aren't fucking. You guys are staying in the same room. You have nothing better to do. You guys are definitely not getting off doing it vibes.
Well, Matt would fuck his cousin. So Matt would fuck his cousin.
Cut this out. I feel attacked.
I just because I think you're right, but like I don't get it as much. Like Matt comes off in the books as a ladies' man. In the show, he's coming off as a fucking slut. So
And like angry when he's not allowed to be. You're like, damn, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, it could go either way with Matt. With Min, it makes sense that she's just like, oh, you're so cute. But Matt's just like, I'll fuck a friend.
Yeah.
Good.
We have nothing else to do. So
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, your visions are always wrong. It's like, oh, except they're not. Sometimes he just interprets them incorrectly. So, he's like, I didn't kill Rand, but you did stab him.
I came to fuck and throw dice, and I'm all out of dice.
My dice are broken. So who knows?
Who knows?
So just a couple more, bro. We're almost done. The weather channeling, I thought it's a bit like theatrical and somewhat corny, but I still thought it was pretty cool because I feel like if you're just throwing a firebolt or something, you could do this, right? But if you're trying to move the ocean and you're trying to make a headwind that's, not, you can't just be like, well, I'm going to push my ship. It's like, it's got to be something a little greater than that, which also I feel some of the wind finders are very, very strong. A lot of the Aiel who can channel, they're not super strong. Some of them are very strong. Avienda is very strong, like almost to Egwene's level. And then you meet one wind finder in the book who's an apprentice who's like as strong as Nynaeve. So they're definitely, I think it kind of shows that depends on how you work with the power, kind of can determine how strong you are. Egwene, one of the things in the books, they start making her look for metal in the ground, and they really push her limits as far as like attack things for fighting and stuff. And I think that made her stronger,
Yeah, I concur. I don't mind the theatrics.
I feel like the boat stuff, like I said, it is a little corny, but I thought it was pretty fucking epic too, dude. Like magic on a scale like this has only been done by Marvel.
Yeah,
like this is Red Witch level stuff a lot of the times, even when it's done a little more hokey than Marvel could do it. Also, Marvel's got a lot more money, but I feel like I challenge anybody, name a show.
Well, and
or a movie for that matter.
And like true witch magic, I think, well, maybe not, but in the Wheel of Time, you're, for all intents and purposes, you're moving elements from the earth.
Right.
You're taking
exactly.
energy yeah, you kind of have to, just like you're grabbing
if you're
it from
using
the earth.
air to throw a stick, it's going to be a lot less of a thing. If you're trying to make the whole ocean make waves and create a whole storm system,
even
Alana, when she's making the fog, which I thought was actually pretty cool, she's doing a lot. What's funny is, and Jeremy will know this, it reminds me of a scene out of one of the books of the Sword of Truth, where one of the, I don't know, I can't remember if it's a witch or a wizard, they're going to attack some enemy and they make something like that, and then they grind up a bunch of glass dust and throw it in front of them, so it just kills everyone because they're nailing it. But it's really not that similar. Just it made me think of that kind of. I remember reading that scene in the books, thinking like that, where they were standing on a rock, kind of elevated above this camp. It was like, I don't know. Anyways, Jeremy will know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. Other than that, bro, I got fast travel options in this world. The ways, if you're friends with a Forsaken, you can travel, or Windfinder Sea Folk ships.
Yeah,
Seanchan ships as well, right?
Well, they basically have Windfinders on their boats.
Yeah, same fucking idea. Let's see. Any idea, Des, who might have been hanging when they came into Tenchiko? Just a random person, or
I'm pretty sure.
I was sure kind of having to fast forward a little bit at that to get here. And was that, you think it had any meaning, or just showing like maybe if you fuck up, you'll get hung here? Or...
I'm pretty sure because that also leads in. Are they in the same city as Leandrin? now.
Yes, and that wasn't an Aiel person, right?
No, but that's
Okay.
leading into next episode where they're like, this is why Leandrin is the way she is, because she came from a horrible
Right.
place. And so yeah, that was really nailing that point home.
It's not her fault. She was a child bride.
Exactly.
Couple more questions. Alana just got pinned cushion. That's not really a question.
Dude, those
got crossbowed up, bro.
It was interesting how that, like, because it makes sense because the White Cloaks basically hunt him for a living.
They know how to fight them. Yeah.
How you just overpower them. Like she can't focus on 13 points at once. So.
And Matt's mom's dead. So
yeah,
that's kind of a bummer.
Is she dead?
Yeah.
Wow.
Boy, did they cut her face off? Is that what that was?
She burned.
Was that what it was? Oh, that's right, because they thought she was a nice to die.
Yep.
Because someone channeled. So, okay, you know what? Like, I don't hate that. That's noble. You know?
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, it sucks, but for the show aspect of it, fuck it.
You know, and it tracks. It's what we saw the White Cloaks do in season 1.
That's what they fucking do, right?
Yeah.
And then just Moraine fucking just denying Swan and like, nope, never again. Not in this life anyway. And maybe in the next one. That kind of shit too. It's like, whatever. It's okay. I know that some people will totally love it. To me, it's meh. You know, I do like that Moraine like called her out. Was like, my job. I did my fucking job. I found the fucking dragon. You were supposed to prepare everybody, and you fucking failed. Like, love you, but you fucked up. You know.
What are they alluding to? That Suan was just so power hungry that she just enjoyed getting her feet rubbed at the tower for 20 years?
I just think that she just thought that, you know, yeah, I think it's ego. Honestly, she was like, I got the tower on lock. Everybody's going to do what I say.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, you have no idea like how much division is actually in the tower, even without the Black Aja. You know, there's a lot of people that disagree with her. And then with them spreading discourse and, you know, whatever else they can do, obviously it's gonna, you know, not go great. So,
well, and that's another thing too. It's like, if your whole fucking point is to find the last dragon and remake the world, why are so many Aes Sedai? Because even the Red Aja are like, if he is truly the Dragon Reborn, then yeah, we want to fight with him, not against him. Are they just so convinced that like the dragon might never be reborn, that they're all false idols, and so we're just going to kill them all because the chances of this one actually being the Dragon Reborn is so low?
It's like, you know, it's really what it comes down, honestly, without getting into too much, is ego and hubris. Everybody's got their idea, and like they're afraid that they're so sure that the dragon will break the world just like last time, and it won't be any different. And then what if he goes mad before he gets to the last battle? Because, you know,
but the dragon,
what if the dragon's a bad guy?
The Dragon Reborn won't go mad though, right? Isn't that the point?
Yes, he will. The whole thing is the Dragon Reborn went mad the first time. So they're like, this is what's going to happen again, right? And so they want to win the last battle and get him to it, but not let him destroy the world again. And that's honestly, Des, can I just say, like, right now is the reason I want you to finish the series, even if it's as a skim thing. Because I was re-listening to The Memory of Light today, which is the last book. And how they've made Rand kind of dumb in the show. So I hope it gets to finish because of this. Rand does so much to make sure the world is better off afterwards. He makes treaties for peace. He starts universities to start moving forward with the knowledge that he has in his head from the Age of Legends. He does so much to make sure he doesn't break the world again. And it's just people's hubris going, well, this is what's going to happen, right?
Okay.
And so, you know, you don't know. Every turning is different. And it's like you said, like, what if the dragon was raised by, you know, an alcoholic dad that beat the fuck out of him every day, and he's a serial killer, and then he can channel and be like, he'll be as bad as the Forsaken. He might even swear to the Dark One. The fact, that's what comes back to, is the fact that Rand was raised by Tam, who was a really good man, is all the difference in the world.
So any of the dragons, if they were a good person in the last 3,000 years, could have fixed the world, but they were all dipshits.
Theoretically, yes. If there was one, yeah. But
they were. We know that he's been cycling.
Sort of, yes. I mean, that's what's implied. But also, when you start to look into the things like Rand's looking into, the Carithian cycle had to be born on the slopes of Dragon Mount, and so many things that had to be a certain way to prove he was the dragon. It's one of the things that actually they did a really good job last episode, showing that Moraine and Rand's families have been connected for a long time, so that this could happen the way it's supposed to.
Okay.
So I think it's like, it's sort of like dice. I think it's random.
And in the last episode too, they really hammer home like just how complicated a good prophecy is. That like you can't grab the sword unless you grab the sword, but if you grab the sword, then you grab the sword. And it's like
right, and it's like and then it's all open to interpretation of that person who's reading it or dealing with it at that time, and it may not be the same. Yours would be different than mine. It's like depends on the person, right?
Okay.
I think that's all I got, bro. Last couple things.
Yeah.
Dane's weak ass excuse, like, "Oh, it was good till you killed my dad."
Yeah. No, you're a dick.
No, you're just looking for an excuse to be a piece of shit, Dane. And let's see. You one of the things that was cool, the Fael, the White Cloaks connection, because one of the when Perrin meets Fael in the books, when he's killing White Cloaks to save Gaul, and the wolf head obviously pissed fucking him off that was on the spike.
Yeah.
Oh, last thing. The gray man was that Jachim Carradine again? Was that Jachim again? It looked like him. So can gray men just keep coming back or what? Maybe I'm wrong.
That would make, again, for the show, you hired this actor, let's use him instead of hiring 100 actors to play 100 different gray men. So I could see Mogadin being able to bring him back. I could
just be like, well, okay, try again, fucker. I'm gonna put my fingers in your mouth and you're gonna go again. I'm sorry, that was so fucking creepy.
That was so fucking creepy.
I was talking to my coworker and he's like, yeah, I thought she was gonna like lick him or something. I was like, well, she did like smell my fingers. So
yeah.
Child Buyer is a good little intro. He's a pretty shitbag from the books.
Yeah.
The dreams, if I hadn't had so much of my life going on and busy, the Hopper, like jumping at the sparks, bro.
Warmed my heart.
I'll cry, bro.
Oh,
get down, Hopper. I'm like,
get down.
Oh, my heart. I was like, so, but that's the last thing I got. The dreams were interesting. Probably definitely some, foreshadowing for some people. Perrin's making his axe. So,
all right, I'm gonna hit the outro so I can get this outro tonight. So everyone can enjoy it. Everyone, I this has been a great conversation because, like I said, I didn't take a lot of notes. I knew there was some stuff in this episode, but I was like, it's just a bridge episode. I'm already excited to rewatch this episode. In the rewatch.
I do too. I think there's a lot of it.
There's a lot.
To suss out. Yeah.
And I think once we see the next episode, this episode will make more sense when it's like, oh, that's where they were going. Oh, that's where they were going. Oh, that's where they were going. And in this one, it's just like, where are we going?
I feel like the arcs this season are going to have a much more like fuller kind of like maybe not completion, because I feel like they're going to end this season on several cliffhangers, hoping to get a fourth, as opposed to wrapping it up, which is okay. But they
might do a mini wrap up this season just in case.
I feel like we're going to get left with a lot of questions at the end of the season.
I think it'll be both. I think there'll be plenty to wrap up if they get a fourth, but it'll be pseudo satisfying.
Yeah, but they want to give you that taste, as I feel like it's smart too. So, because I honestly, after seeing what I've seen so far this season, I would really love to see a season 4, 5, and 6, because I feel If this season would have kind of like been weird and kind of like, I didn't hate the first seasons, but I really didn't love them. So far, like every episode has resonated with me in an emotional way. Like this episode made me really sad because I know what some of this means for the characters because I've seen it happen. Whether or not it happens in the show or not is left to be seen, but I do know what it means, and it's like it's pretty fucking heart-wrenching, to be totally honest.
I bet you this season ends in a way that if Rafe is just like, just give me 6 more episodes. Just
they can wrap it up.
Just give me 6. It's going to be rushed, but we can do it.
Honestly, I could live with a 4th season of 8 episodes and them trying to wrap it. I mean, if it's as good as this season, I could deal with it.
It would suck. It would leave a lot out, but
there'd be a lot of montages.
Just please don't just let this die on the vine. Fuck you, Jeremy. Don't let this show die on the vine. Like I would rather have a shitty box of red wine than a bunch of squished grapes.
And at this point, it's not a shitty box of red wine anymore. I mean, I felt really confident in saying like this season is good. It is good TV. I hear people who don't know anything about the books loving it. I hear the book people who are loving it more. So, I mean, if you're hanging around to roast it, cool. But I mean, like, I feel like if that's your main anger about the show, it's like you can't be that mad about it anymore because it's got enough, people coming all over themselves about last episode. Well, okay, great. He took so much of it from the source material. He better not fuck it up. I mean, no disrespect, but I mean, it's like,
it's there.
It's there. So if that's the case, just get her done.
Get her done.
All right, man. I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to give my fucking baby wolves a bath. She's 55 pounds, dude. She's bigger than my son.
I shouldn't say that. Diesel's 55. I literally just weighed Diesel yesterday.
Yeah, but she's not even 6 months old until 3 more days. Dude, hold on. I want to show you before you go. You can start playing the outro if you want, but
thank you for listening to Thank the Light, the Wheel of Time podcast. Do yourself a favor. Tune in live on YouTube at What Sounds Awesome, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and check us out in real time. Get your questions and comments read on air, or just be the first to hear us. If you can't be here live, please send your questions.
Winston's 58 pounds.
Thankthelight@gmail.com. That is thankthelight@gmail.com. Until then, put your dagger in the horn box.
May you always find water in shades, nerds.
Put your dagger right in your horn box, bitch. Thank you.
Winston's 58 pounds, bro.
Puppy.
The white one is the baby. Love you, brother. Talk to you later.
Have a good night. Sleep well.
I'll do my best.
Hey, nothing a little Vicodin and alcohol can't fix.
Halfway there. I haven't even showered yet, so. Gonna give the dogs a bath and go to bed. Hey, buddy.
By Desmond McNeese for We Mixed It,
Love you.
LLC. Go to whatsoundsawesome.com. And this is where the hilarious outtake would appear.